Everybody here know about shea butter? Or does anybody know what shea butter is? Does anybody not know?
I don't know. I've heard of it.
No? Okay, so shea butter is the oily extract from the shea tree. It grows in 20 countries on the African continent. The little green strip here is the region where shea butter grows. It's called the shea belt. So from West Africa all the way to the east. Shea butter, the vegetable oil, has the highest percentage of healing components of any vegetable oil on the planet for the skin. I'll let you guys pass around this. You want to see? This is the seed. So inside one seed is another seed, and that's where they extract the vegetable oil from. Please make sure the seeds come back. This is the inky or botanical name for shea butter. So if you're ever to get a cream or a lotion in the drugstore or something and you look on the back, usually they don't list cosmetic ingredients by its actual name. So this is according to the international nomenclature of cosmetic ingredients. So if you ever see this on the back, it's actually shea butter. The reason they use this identification system is so if you're somewhere else, let's say you're in China or you're in India, and you're reading a package and you put it on your skin, you don't want to have an allergic reaction. This is a standardized name for shea butter, so that regardless where you are in the world, you can recognize the product. Just have to skip a few slides here. So shea butter has the highest percentage of bioactive or healing components of any vegetable oil, like I mentioned. A lot of people, for example, are into coconut oil right now. Coconut oil is really good for the skin, or so they say. If you look here, well, it's kind of cut off. If you look here, you'll see all vegetable oils have a healing fraction, which is the nutrient part, and it also has a moisturizing fraction. The moisturizing fraction usually makes up about 90 to 99% of the oil. The nutrients are contained in the other 1%. With shea butter, if you have a really good grade, 6 to 17% nutrient value. Typical shea butter, run-of-the-mill shea butter, starts at about 3. I don't know how to adjust this so it goes up. But the other oils, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, significantly less healing properties. So for those of you, let's say you choose to use coconut oil or maybe olive oil for your hair and skin, it may be a good moisturizer, but the healing properties are far below that of shea butter. Even a low grade of shea butter is more superior in terms of healing properties than all the other oils in terms of benefits for the skin. These are some of the nutrients that are found in shea butter. Phytonutrients, phyto just refers to nutrients in plants. Triterpenes, Jessica will just talk about triterpenes. One of the things that shea butter is really known for is anti-inflammatory. So for example, a lot of people who have eczema, or some people they shave and they get bumps. If you use shea butter, because of the triterpenes, it will bring down the inflammation. So you can use it on arthritic conditions. You can use it. It is very good for circulation if you have poor circulation. Also sunburn, windburn, any type of skin conditions. Shea butter helps because of the nutrients. It's also a latex tree. This is the bark of the shea tree if you guys want to pass this around and have a look. Shea butter is a latex tree, so if you go to the savanna regions in Africa and you were to find a shea tree, and if you cut the bark, rubber is going to leak out. So it's a rubber tree. Shea butter is very good for any type of skin, but if you happen to be allergic to latex, then you might not be able to use shea butter. You might have an allergic reaction. This is a skin cell. Shea butter is really good for the skin. The reason it's really good for the skin, the high content of vitamin A. Say for example, you have 2 layers of skin. Top layer, to make it really simple, top layer and bottom layer. Vitamin A is the nutrient that helps the bottom layer of the skin to travel up, migrate to the top, and replenish your skin cells rapidly. So that's why when you see, for example, if any of you know about acne creams, any of the acne creams on the market, you'll see an ingredient called retin-A or some type of synthetic vitamin A derivative. Shea butter is naturally occurring, high in vitamin A, vitamin E, so it replenishes the skin cells really fast, and this is why it's excellent for healing. Usually when I do a shea butter talk, it's about 2 hours, so I'm really condensing a lot of information into a quick thing. I'm gonna go through all of these things. This slide here, this is what the fruit looks like. Just so you know, you guys saw the seed, the bark is coming around. And shea butter is made by African women. It's traditionally made only by women in 20 countries on the African continent. It's very arduous work. When they produce shea butter, they don't pick the seed. They wait until it's ripe. The fruit falls off. They pick it off of the ground. They take the seed out. They crush the seed. Then they boil it. This is a really short version of the process. They boil it. The vegetable oil comes to the top. Then they scoop it off, and that's the traditional method of producing shea butter. 71 to 72% of shea butter that comes into North America, on arrival, it's already rancid. That means it's still a really good moisturizer, but the healing properties have deteriorated significantly. The reason for this, the shipping, it comes across from, let's say, Ghana or Nigeria or Burkina Faso. It goes in a shipping container and it comes across via boat. Takes about a month to get here. Sits in the heat for a long time. It deteriorates. A lot of times we ship our shea butter temperature control so the healing properties stay intact. It doesn't deteriorate. The reason I'm saying this because shea butter, you can go to like festivals all over the city or health food stores and you can find shea butter, but you have to know what you're buying. If you want healing properties, let's say you have eczema and you want it to heal, you have to use a really good grade of shea butter. Any other typical shea butter you're gonna get, it's still going to be a good moisturizer, but the healing properties aren't going to be intact. Sometimes you'll also see a yellow shea butter. At festivals and stuff, people sell a deep yellow shea butter. Shea butter is always going to be roughly this color, off-white. I'm going to pass this around. You guys can try a little bit. If you see a deep yellow color, that means they use an additive. Oops. They use an additive. It's another root of another plant that they mix, and they use that for culinary purposes. Specifically in Ghana and Nigeria, they mix the Cochlospermum root with shea butter because they like their food to be this yellow color, and that's why you see the yellow shea butter. If you ever see a shea butter that's white, when I say white, not like this, but actually white, that means it's refined shea butter. It's used in all mass market cosmetics, mass market Kleenex, hair products. It's extant. It's all over the place, but they've removed, it's still a good moisturizer, but they removed about 75% of the nutrients, so you get a consistent product all the time. So if you use Dove, Nivea, Aveeno, all these products, they'll have shea butter in it, but they use that as a marketing gimmick. When you see shea butter on usual labels of Shoppers Drug Mart products and stuff, because that shea butter, they add it for a marketing gimmick, but it doesn't really have any healing properties. Just going through really quickly, that's a glow. Typical. This is cut off again. This list is a lot longer. When you look at typical products, skin products, creams, lotions, potions that you can buy at the Body Shop or anywhere else, these are some of the ingredients you're going to find. Propylene glycol, diazodenyl urea. Some of these things release formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is if you were ever in high school biology and you see a dissected pig and it's floating in this formula that's preserving it, that's formaldehyde. Some of the preservatives in typical cosmetics, creams, lotions release formaldehyde. Some of them are carcinogenic. Some of them you can't spell. Some of them you can't read. So really and truly you shouldn't be using it. Just like when you look at the ingredients package on your food, if you don't know what it is, you shouldn't be using it. So the same thing with a lot of the cosmetic ingredients, skincare ingredients. Shea butter can be used for hair, for the skin, and for healing, and it's a natural product, so you can use it rather than your eye. Like for example, a lot of women, they'll use an eye cream, a cold cream, a night cream, a day cream, a foot cream, a hand cream. You don't need all these products, you just need one product. If you have a good shea butter, that's gonna work for you. If you walk into a typical person's household, you'll find usually all these type of products. You can save a lot of money by using one product, and it's gonna, all these uses. That's the shea seed. Some women in a women's cooperative that produce shea butter. These are some of the benefits of shea butter. Again, it's cut off at the bottom with it. Just so you know, I can read some of them if you guys can't see. Eczema, dry skin, ashy skin, chapped lips, seasonal skin conditions, allergic reactions, cuts, burns, scrapes, bruises, sunburn, windburn, insect bite, rashes, blemishes, acne, stretch marks, uneven skin tone, tanning scars, cosmetic, procedural scars, aging, wrinkles, photo aging. You get the point. It can go on. You can use it for all these purposes. Dry, cracked heels, eye cream, breastfeeding, stretch marks, sunburn. If you get razor bumps, as I mentioned, more uses. You cannot tell a good quality shea butter just by picking it up and looking at it, touching it, or smelling it. Usually when we bring our shea butter into the country, we send it to the laboratory at the American Shea Butter Institute in Atlanta. I'm a certified shea butter technician. Also, I send shea butter to the labs in Ghana. It's called SGS to have it tested. Some of the criteria, we make sure that the bioactives I mentioned, the healing properties are really high. So I bring shea butter that has at least 5% or higher. Depends on what I can get. Shelf life is another important factor I mentioned. When some people when they ship shea butter here, it deteriorates because of the heat. A lot of times we ship it temperature control, it keeps the shelf life intact. You should keep, if you use shea butter, a lot of times when you go to a festival, you'll see shea butter being sold out in a big calabash. Don't buy that type of shea butter if it's just out exposed to the elements. Or 1 minute, or you have a question? Or yeah, okay, 1 minute, that's all I need. You'll notice about this shea butter, it's really soft and creamy as well. It's not tough to spread. My 1 minute's up, so anybody have any questions? Yes?
Yeah, where do you sell the shea butter?
Okay, so I have some at a table in the front there. Also, you can get my card, you can check out my website. Yeah, Jessica sells it here in this space as well. Also, I have some at Noah's Health Food Store at Spadina and Bloor, and Knowledge Bookstore in Brampton, and Peachtree at Runnymede and Bloor. Any other questions? Yes.
Not the shea butter. You talk about the process of mixing it, and then it rises to the top and scooping it off the top to make the butter, correct?
Yes.
The waste product. What happens with that? Is it in the garden? Is it going to use it? Or?
Yeah, they use everything. So animal feed is one of them. Material for burning, like instead of firewood. That's the traditional method. There's also another method. They use mechanical extraction. You can do it that way. There's not much waste product. And the refined shea butter, the white one I talked about, they use a toxic petrochemical called toluene or benzene to extract the shea butter. This is in the industry, when mass market cosmetics, that's how they extract shea butter, with chemicals. Any other questions really quick? All right, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Be blessed.